What if I told you that the decades-long wait for the Iraqi dinar's rise in value may finally be over? Picture holding on to currency for years, watching rumor after rumor pass, only to now hear an official date confirmed for a long-anticipated revaluation. Today, we bring you the most in-depth breakdown yet of this monumental financial development. The date to mark in your calendars is September 17th, 2025. This isn't guesswork, internet hype, or vague speculation. This is news that could affect dinar holders worldwide, investors across markets, and anyone tracking Iraq's economic rise. In this video, we'll cover everything from the announced revaluation date, Iraq's preparations, the economic drivers behind it, and what it means for the dinar's value and your financial future. Stay tuned, because what we were about to share could reshape how you view your investment in the Iraqi dinar. The announcement of September 17, 2025 has sparked a wave of reaction throughout the dinar community and global finance circles. For years, currency holders have waited for a breakthrough, watching countless forecasts and timelines collapse without results. Many lost faith that a revaluation would ever happen. But the latest reports point to something different. Iraq's central bank and financial sector appear to be preparing in ways that far exceed routine measures. From updated protocols on large-scale currency handling to formal partnerships with international banks. Capable of managing higher-value exchanges, the framework for revaluation is visibly being built. What makes this moment so unique is the precision of the September 17th dates, suggesting careful planning rather than rumor. For dinar holders, this is the clearest and most credible timeline to emerge in decades, making it a turning point for understanding what's ahead. Timing is everything in a major currency reset, and Iraq's decision to choose September appears deliberate. Iraq operates on a January to December fiscal year, and September allows officials to evaluate the first 8 months of economic performance before implementing such a transformative financial decision. This timing ensures there is enough runway to address immediate impacts, while still stabilizing markets before year-end reporting. Equally important, gives global banks and financial institutions time to adapt their systems and processes for higher-value transactions. Unlike past speculative dates, this one feels coordinated, methodical, and calculated to minimize risk. For investors, recognizing why September 17th was chosen is key to appreciating the level of care that is shaping this process, one designed to protect stability and inspire confidence during a potentially historic revaluation. Behind the scenes, Iraq's steps toward readiness are becoming more visible. In early 2024, the central bank secured agreements with European financial institutions to enhance international trade capacity and facilitate currency conversions at values above the current rate. This move shows Iraq is preparing not just domestically, but also aligning with global financial norms. At the same time, Iraqi banks have been carrying out stress tests to simulate heavy trading volumes. These are not ordinary drills. They are preparations for a scenario where the dinar gains significant value. By ensuring their banking infrastructure can withstand a flood of demand, Iraq is reinforcing the resilience of its system, a crucial ingredient for any successful currency overhaul. Economic momentum also strengthens the September 2025 case. Political steadiness is another critical factor supporting this timeline. Past administrations often lacked the consistency needed to move forward on bold financial reforms, creating hesitancy among investors. Today's Iraqi government, however, has maintained a relatively stable political environment, which allows it to carefully coordinate the complexities of a revaluation. International institutions and foreign investors alike are far more likely to lend support. When a government demonstrates continuity and control, this steadiness reduces one of the biggest risks historically tied to the dinar, and makes the September 17th date even more believable. For investors, stability provides reassurance that the process can unfold without major political disruption. Looking to history helps explain Iraq's current playbook. Kuwait's revaluation in the early 1990s serves as a useful example. Kuwait announced its plans well ahead of time, giving its financial system, investors, and citizens room to adjust. Implementation then rolled out gradually, avoiding panic and speculation. Iraq seems to be following a similar model by setting a firm date in advance. By doing so, it allows institutions, banks, and private holders to prepare for what lies ahead. This calculated approach indicates Iraq is applying lessons learned from other nations. focusing on order, control, and long-term confidence in the dinar, rather than sudden overnight changes. The future exchange rate is still a matter of debate, with projections ranging from a cautious $1 to $3 per dinar to more ambitious forecasts of $4 to -$7 per dinar. The exact figure will depend on variables such as oil prices, inflation, reserves, and political stability at the time of revaluation. Even at the low end of estimates, the increase would be transformative compared to the current rate of around 1,320 dinars to the dollar. This could indeed be life-changing for many holders, but it requires level-headed planning. Investors should be mindful that the final outcome may vary, and keeping an eye on economic indicators is essential to gauge how successful the revaluation will ultimately be. Practical readiness is vital for dinar holders in the lead-up to September 2025. First, ensure that every note in your possession is authentic and in good condition, as banks will be strict in their acceptance. Second, keep clear records of all purchases for tax filings and ownership verification during exchanges. Third, identify exchange locations and channels early. Since not every bank may be ready at once, and some could impose limits or restrictions, priority may be given to large institutional holders before individuals, making preparation all the more important. Taking these steps now helps minimize stress later and ensures you reposition to take advantage of this financial milestone. Reports also suggest that U.S. and international banks are taking the revaluation seriously. Staff training is underway for currency recognition and exchange protocols, while call centers are gearing up for an influx of customer inquiries. Global systems like SWIFT have already been adjusted to accommodate high-value dinar transactions. Such technical updates are not undertaken lightly. They suggest real anticipation of a significant shift. For investors, this demonstrates that September 17, 2025 is not being treated as a rumor, but rather as a legitimate event requiring extensive preparation across the financial sector. That said, risks remain. Currency reevaluations are incredibly complex, and even well-planned initiatives can face delays or disruptions. Political turnover, economic shocks, or global financial crises could impact the schedule. While all evidence suggests September 17, 2025 is the target, no financial event of this size is ever certain. Responsible investors should recognize both the opportunities and the uncertainties, resisting impulsive moves based solely on projections. Balancing hope with caution allows dinar holders to approach the revaluation strategically and make informed decisions. The ripple effects across the region will also be profound. Countries such as Iran, Syria, and Turkey may experience adjustments in trade flows and currency dynamics in response to Iraq's revaluation. Iraq appears to be coordinating with its neighbors to manage these transitions smoothly, signaling that this revaluation is not just a local matter, but part of a larger regional economic strategy. For investors, this highlights the scale of planning behind the move and reinforces the seriousness of the September 17th date. Oil remains the anchor of Iraq's economy, and its stability is central to any successful revaluation. With production expected to approach peak capacity by late 2025 and global oil markets forecasted to remain steady, Iraq is timing its revaluation to coincide with strong revenues. This provides a cushion of confidence, assuring both domestic markets and foreign investors that the higher-value dinar will be sustainable. Aligning the change with peak output reflects Iraq's desire to present the revaluation as credible, stable, and financially grounded. A successful revaluation could also open the door to greater foreign investment across Iraq. Higher currency values would boost investor confidence in sectors like infrastructure, energy, and services, stimulating broader economic growth. For dinar holders, the post-revaluation period will offer both opportunities and responsibilities. Key decisions on when and how much to exchange will carry major financial consequences. Many experts recommend a phased exchange to maximize returns while managing risk-making research and preparation essential in this new environment. The global impact of the dinar's rise cannot be ignored. International markets will monitor Iraq closely, as a shift in its currency could alter trade patterns, investment trends, and even global oil pricing. Banks around the world will need to recalibrate systems, train personnel, and prepare for increased transaction flows. This scale of global adjustment suggests that the financial industry is treating the September 17th timeline as credible. For holders, this underscores the importance of understanding how interconnected markets are and why preparation on both personal and institutional levels is so critical. Financial advisors stress that, while the opportunity may be historic, careful planning is essential. Rushing into exchanges without understanding banking requirements, tax obligations, or processing phases could lead to unnecessary setbacks. Documentation, note quality, and selecting the right financial channels will all play pivotal roles in success. With phased processing likely, informed preparation becomes the best tool for ensuring a smooth experience. Investors who approach this strategically will be better positioned to benefit fully from the revaluation. The months leading into September 2025 also provide an opportunity for personal financial planning. Dinar holders should review their broader investment portfolios, consult with professionals familiar with currency events, and assess tax implications in advance. Building a clear strategy now reduces uncertainty later and allows for better decision-making when the revaluation is triggered. By preparing methodically, investors can secure stronger outcomes and avoid costly missteps in the rush to exchange. For the global dinar community, September 17, 2025 stands out as the most credible date yet for a long-awaited revaluation. Unlike previous rumors, this timeline is backed by clear economic indicators, political steadiness, and visible preparation at both national and international levels. Though the final rate is still unknown, the coordination of fiscal policy, oil revenue management, and financial infrastructure readiness makes this milestone highly plausible. For dinar holders, understanding these factors is critical for navigating the months ahead. In conclusion, the Iraqi dinar revaluation, expected on September 17, 2025, could mark one of the most significant financial events in decades. From Iraq's internal reforms to international banking system updates, the evidence points toward careful planning and real momentum. While risks remain, the preparations at every level suggest this event is closer to reality than ever before. For investors, now is the time to prepare records, safeguard currency notes, and plan exchange strategies. This is a moment decades in the making, one that demands patience, strategy, and foresight.